Alright guys, I'm back! But today in Math Television we're going to be learning about adding and subtracting decimals. So, pretty much the steps to adding or subtracting decimals are the same for either adding or subtracting, just a little bit different. There's just one or two minor differences. So, our first step, write down the numbers one under the other with the decimal places lined up. This is very important. Your decimal points have to be lined up or you're not going to get the right answer. By the way, do you like my new color? It's purple. I thought it was really exciting. So, next, number 2. Put blank in as placeholders. This will make out numbers. It's not supposed to be out, it's supposed to be our. This will make our typo. Our numbers have the same length. We need to put zeros in as placeholders. This is if our numbers aren't the same length. That will make them all the same length, so it'll be very easy to add or subtract. We're not multiplying today. So, after we do the decimal points lined up and after we add our zeros, you just simply add or subtract each column, but don't forget to carry, if you're adding, carry your numbers, or to borrow if you're subtracting if you need to. It's really important. It's just simple addition or subtraction. So once you finish, you need to make sure you drop the decimal place all the way down to your answer. That's extremely important or you will not get the correct answer. We're going to do examples, so don't freak out yet. If you do not see a decimal in your number, then you add it to the end of the number. So if this is one of your numbers, if you have, I can't find my mouse, if you have 6, then you just simply added a decimal and a 0 after the number. See, we added the decimal point after the 6. So, adding decimal examples. Should be a pretty easy review. 12.83 plus 4 and 72 hundredths. Okay? Look how I line my decimals up. They're lined up. So then I just add my columns. 3 plus 2 is 5. 8 plus 7 is 15. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. 1 plus 0 is 1. Now somebody tell me what I forgot. I added them all right, so my answer is 1,755. That doesn't make a lot of sense. If I have $12.83 and I add $4.72, I get 1,755. No, I don't think so. We need to add our decimal. So this is our new answer. Alright, y'all can do this one, right? Okay, pause it and do it and then come back. So now that you've done it correctly, let's check it. I have 28 and 43 hundredths, tenths, hundredths place, plus, this doesn't have a decimal, so I don't know what to do. But remember, when you do not see a decimal, then you add it to the end of the number. So, I just go ahead and I add it to the end. I add just 1, but if I'm lining my decimal point up, that doesn't make these numbers even. So I need to add another 1 to make sure that I have 2 decimal places here, 2 decimal places here. Then I can add. 3 plus 0 is 3, 4 plus 0 is 4, 8 plus 5 is 13, 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Then I need to make sure I drop my decimal point all the way down. 43 and 43 hundredths. Alright, y'all should do this one too. So, 1.452 452 thousandths plus, line up my decimal points, 0.13 hundredths, because the 3 ends in the hundredths place. In order to make my numbers even though, I have to add a 0 over here because I have 3 decimal places here and I need 3 decimal places here. Then you just do column addition, but first make sure your decimals are lined up, which they are. 2 plus 0 is 2, 5 plus 3 is 8, 4 plus 1 is 5, 1 plus 0 is 1. I'm not finished with my answer. I need to add my decimal point. If you need to bring your decimal point down before you start adding, do that. You just cannot forget that decimal point. So now that we're pros on adding, we need to do subtracting. So let's look. 7 and 368 thousandths. Write this number first because it comes in my equation first. Minus 1 and 15 hundredths. What's wrong with this picture? Good, they're not even, so I need to make them even. Now my decimal places are lined up and my numbers are even. So I can do, that wasn't very pretty, huh? 8 minus 0 is 8, 6 minus 5 is 1, 3 minus 1 is 2, and 7 minus 1 is 6. Here's my answer, 6 and 218 thousandths. Man, here's that pesky little number again. It doesn't have a decimal point, so I need to add one. So I do 6, I always add it after the number, 6.0 minus 2 and 3 tenths. Now, if I had another number here, I'd have to add another number here because they wouldn't be even, but it just so happens that they are very even right now. So, well, 0 minus 3, I can't do that, so I need to borrow from the 6, make this a 5, 10 minus 3 is 7, bring down my decimal point, just always make sure that decimal point's in your answer. 5 minus 2 is 3, so 3 and 7 tenths. Alright, last one. Y'all do this on your own. You got it. I have faith in you and I know you can do it. So, I want y'all to check your answer with mine or mine with yours, whatever you want to say. This one was tricky because they weren't even, so you had to add another 0. So, need to borrow because 0 minus 5, we can't do that. So, I have 10 minus 5 is good. 8 minus 7 is 1. 5 minus 0, this is basically like zeros. 5 minus 0 is 5. 1 minus 0 is 1. Make sure your decimal point comes down. Here's your answer, 15 and 15 hundredths. Make sure you're saying it correctly. Now, if you ever wondered how you can check your work to make sure you're getting the right answers, well, it's your lucky day. I'm going to tell you, you can check your new subtraction work. This only works for subtraction. You can check it for subtraction by adding the answer we got back to the number we subtracted, and we should get the number we started with. So, this was the problem we just worked out a minute ago. So let's check it. We should add this number and this number back together and we should get this number. So, remember we worked on adding decimals a second ago? 6 and 218 thousandths plus 1 and 15 hundredths. Alright, I had to add a 0. Why did I add a 0? Good, I added a 0 because my numbers weren't even. So 8 plus 0 is 8, 1 plus 5 is 6, 2 plus 1 is 3, 6 plus 1 is 7. I need to bring down my decimal. So good, this number matches this number, so we know we did it right. We'll do one more just to make sure you know what you're doing. Alright, so we need to take this answer and we need to add it to this, and we should get this. So 3.7 plus 2.3, which we really know is 3 and 7 tenths and 2 and 3 tenths. Miss Hitchcock's just not saying it right. 7 plus 3 is 10, so I leave my 0 and I carry my 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Make sure my decimal point gets brought down. And this answer matches this answer, so we are good. Alright guys, that was adding and subtracting decimals. That should have been sort of a review for you, but if you need help, go back and rewatch it. You know you can. Pause, stop, rewind, do whatever you need to do, fast forward. So make sure you have your notes though. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.